Good morning, family. Welcome to Morning Delight. Today's Wednesday, August 2nd. Let's begin by welcoming and greeting our Heavenly Parent and true parents. 천지인 장보는게 기양배. Karo. Now for our family pledge, let's welcome Pastor Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇族권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상 세계와 대상적 지상 세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님의 대신 가정으로서 자녀를 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 1. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 자녀국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Pastor Milhan. Now for our opening prayer, I'd like to invite Reverend Sebastian. If you could please pray for us today.
전진 참부모님께 안녕하십니까? 여러분 안녕하십니까? In the spirit of Dr. Juanita, let us take a deep breath in to offer our gratitude to our Heavenly Parent. And breathing out, blessing everybody and everything around us. Thank you, Heavenly Parent, for giving us life at this time. And each one of us is so privileged to be alive at this time with a true mother of heaven, earth, and all mankind, the mother of the universe, the only begotten daughter. With each one of my brothers and sisters, precious, precious brothers and sisters, the fruits, Father, of all the people in the past, the great ancestors that each one of them has. Really grateful, not really worthy to be here, but nevertheless, we're here, we're breathing, we're moving forward, and we're coming together here under the leadership of our brother, of our Reverend Pastor Milhan Stevens and his family, and with all brothers and sisters with Joshua Gudetowski, his assistant, and Kathleen, our wonderful, eminent, the mistress of ceremony, and with each one of us and sisters from far across Europe all the way to New York State and anywhere else. We are present here to offer our time together with you. Please join us, Heavenly Parent. Please join us through the spirit of our true parents, especially true mother and the Changchun One Providence, and continued improvement of our relationship with you by our individual give and take with you, so we can guide, you can live through us, and we can create that network of heart together, and allow you to take a rest in that hammock that we want to create through our connection, our weaving, Father, of hearts together. We pray this together, brothers and sisters, Sebastian, Matthew, Katie, who am a blessed in the family, adieu.
Adieu. Thank you, Reverend Sebastian. Now, let's take a few moments to share our gratitudes, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Ayaka-san, would you like to share with us today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very grateful and very happy to see everybody's home, everybody's faces here. We were with Reverend Milhan. He showed us. Of course, we are. My husband and I. We shared that we are happy to be back here, and my husband was happy that I came back and walking now 2 legs again. And I'm happy that I'm home to be home. And Milhan was sharing about his photos about Harlem. I guess that what the name, but he can explain. But he had a really service project, and when Canadian brother was putting ketchup and mustard on the people's hamburgers and all this event that happened in the Harlem State Office Building area. So I'm very happy to be home state, and nothing like New York, though this is a little wet and humid than Las Vegas. And it was 105-degree, 110-degree, but there was no sweating because of very dry and amazing time. Chonshimon seminar, but also including sightseeing with the ACLC, WCLC. They were having let's say, council. They were having like a next year or next half year or next another year, the planning. So traveling together with the clergies, worldwide clergies, maybe 20 of them, and maybe 20 maybe Japanese sisters together. It was like as if new start, complete new providence. I felt missionary. We represent Japanese missionaries in Japan's mind, and also the world Christian leadership, which Mother is count on. Mother is really had a heart of a foundational heart of to proclaim the begotten daughter and ACLC together. So I had many conversations with pastors, but it's a world clergy leadership like Reverend Abernathy, Pastor Tanya, and so other, Reverend Katula and like that. So it was filled with God's creation, of a masterpiece of God's creation in the canyon area, and true mother's heart was expressed in Dr. All the staff, including Bishop Kim, centering of Bishop Kim, all of the preparation lecturer. I really felt love, and love was was parental love behind God's love. I really felt I could release my everything. I left all myself. I left there. So new life. I really recommend everybody to go. That was my gratitude.
Thank you, Ayaka-san. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, brothers and sisters, now it's time for our Godable reading. We're reading from the Mother of Peace, our True Mother's memoir. Pastor Milhan.
Okay, Kathleen. Thank you, Ayaka-san, for your sharing, and we're glad that you're back home safe.
Thank you.
Back online, right here.
Yeah, we missed Jorg.
Yeah, we noticed that you weren't on, We understand.
Temporary.
Maybe a technical difficulty, perhaps.
Love.
Oh, there's a silly picture.
Oh, nice.
So we snapped this at the very end. We're all pretty tired at this point, I'd say. But yeah, it's good. Yumiko-san was also there, and Julie helped out too at the beginning. So it was, and Reverend Josh also helped out moving some things early on. And there's just some other photos. So John gets the VIP service, putting ketchup and mustard on everyone's hamburgers and hot dogs. It was pretty wild. Just endless, nonstop, as fast as possible. Yeah, so it's a nice event, pretty well attended. You can see the investment that Apostle has in the community, and bringing a good relationship with the law enforcement, and commissioner, the chief came out, and it was great. Yeah, I got to meet some other people. State senator, this lady here. She gave a really good talk, I thought. I love Apostle's hat. Look at the hat she's wearing. I love Jesus right there.
Aw.
Representing. Oh, this guy, he's a youth coordinator for kind of a program that's really starting to grow right now called PAG. Get the acronym. Teaching a Generation. They had a lot of young adults there from this group, and they're really cool. They're doing really great work. So yeah, that's Harlem for now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's go. Oh, this one. Let's enjoy our Bible reading for this morning. Get it going. Oh, I have to share my sound. Okay.
Welcome to Mother of Peace, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. A memoir by Hak Jahan Moon, a production of the Washington Times Global Media Group, narrated by Allison Hiroto. In the autumn of 2018, we held a rally of hope at the Chongshim Peace World Center, an arena with a capacity of 20,000 located in our HJ Chonwon complex, east of Seoul. During a member's testimony session, Keiko Kobayashi, a Japanese wife living in Korea's South Jeolla province with a Korean husband, came to the podium to share her heart. In 1998, she said, while living a comfortable life as a public official in Japan, she applied for the matching and was matched and then blessed in a marriage to a Korean man. She moved to Korea, expecting that they would live happily as newlyweds. However, her hopes for happiness were dashed because her husband suffered from epilepsy. Although he was usually calm, when under stress, he was prone to epileptic fits. He grew lethargic and became indifferent about life in general. Nothing could inspire him. Keiko thought seriously about ending the marriage and returning to Japan. But first, she decided to put her mind at ease by traveling to our Chongpyeong Training Center to offer a week of prayer and devotions before making her final decision. She had already had many good experiences at this center, participating in workshops with hundreds of members from Korea, Japan, and around the world. For several days, she clung to God, prayed to Him, and turned her ears toward heaven. God heard her prayer and spoke to her. "My beloved daughter, just as I love you as my daughter, I love your husband as my son. Can you not take care of him on my behalf, as my poor son whose body is weak and who is living in loneliness?" Hearing this, she said she broke down in tears of repentance and sincerely asked God for forgiveness. She returned home, opened her heart to her husband, and learned to love him. Soon thereafter, God rewarded her by giving them a lovely son, and changes began taking place in her husband. His health improved, he was able to get a job, and the family stabilized. Now they are living happily together, raising 5 sons and daughters. This is what Keiko shared with the audience. A few days after that rally, I convened a meeting at Chongpyeong with more than 4,000 Japanese wives of Korean husbands. They had gathered from all parts of Korea. I gave small presents to those among them who, as luck would have it, had their birthday on that day. I asked them if they had ever received a birthday gift from their husbands. Most of them answered that they did not celebrate birthdays at all because they were too busy with the strenuous task of making a living in rural areas. Yet, not one of them was discontented. They testified that their lives were dedicated to God's will, and that when they face difficulties, their bond with true parents strengthens them. I treasure these women all the more because they endured and sacrificed themselves as representatives of their nation. They gathered in Seoul in 2019 to pay respects to the spirit of Ryu Guan-sun, a girl of 18 who, in 1920, gave her life as a martyr in protest of the Japanese occupation of Korea. Our Japanese sisters gathered in their kimonos to pray for this young woman martyr for independence and to ask forgiveness on behalf of Japan. Happiness does not come to us when we have everything. It comes mysteriously when we have seemingly lost everything, yet still feel gratitude. When a woman marries a man with a disability or who is of a different religious background or racial minority, that is where God can work miracles. True love transcends historical divisions that resulted from sin and allows happiness and heavenly fortune to find a home. The blessed marriage tradition places true love above considerations of appearance and social status. A person who develops true character and a warm heart will make a good spouse. When you meet such a person and give him or her all your love, yours becomes a worthy life indeed. The marriage blessing ceremony of the Unification Church movement is the most sacred and precious event in human history. Why? It is because the blessing imparts heavenly parents' spiritual reality and allows a man and a woman to embody it as one flesh. It is the veritable marriage supper of the Lamb of which the Bible speaks. Our larger blessing ceremonies gather tens of thousands of couples, but there have been some with just 3 or 4, and once in a while, my husband and I have blessed just one couple. Thousands of our representatives, blessed central families in Korea, and throughout the world have also officiated blessing ceremonies. Millions of couples have received the marriage blessing. You will find these blessed families in every country. Couples composed of a Korean groom and Japanese bride, an American groom and German bride, a Senegalese groom and Filipino bride, all live in happiness. They overcome differences in language and lifestyle. The foundation for this is in the vows that blessed couples make during the blessing ceremony, that the husband and the wife will share true love and live in accordance with God's will. A vision of true womanhood. There is an old saying in the West, behind every great man is a great woman. It is true. The wife is necessary for the completion and perfection of the husband. Without his wife, a husband cannot be whole. A society in which womanhood does not complete and perfect manhood cannot give rise to a peaceful and just world. Women need to fulfill the mission of the wife as well as the mission of the mother. Both are essential to create a peaceful and just world. The mother gives birth to children and is called to raise them through their formative years. That is a right and responsibility given primarily to women. I have always been saddened by the reality of this world in which so often husbands fail to honor their wives and children fail to honor their mothers. In every age, righteous women have carried out their missions as wives and mothers in the face of hardships. Following the path of women saints of all religious traditions, the women of our unification movement, in response to the heart of true parents, have attended God while shedding their sweat and tears throughout our global village. True parents revealed the truth of the human fall and liberated women to fulfill their responsibilities as true daughters, true wives, and true mothers. In this age, by God's providence, what was previously impossible has been made possible. Women are independent beings who represent God's feminine aspect and thus make men whole. It is time for women to rise above the popular trend of trying to improve their status by imitating men. This only casts the relationship between men and women as one of competition in a culture that ignores their God-given and God-incarnating uniqueness. God designed men and women for a relationship in which each gives their divine and unique gifts to the other, and each receives the other's divine and unique gifts with true awareness and love. Women are not just men's assistants any more than men are women's assistants. Women and men need each other's protection. Through the true man-woman relationship, each perfects the other and becomes one with the other. Each is a part of the other in the creation of a greater whole, embodied as a child, as a family, as a nation, and as the world. At this time, women need to follow heaven's way, attend true parents, and become central figures who, together with men, bring forth a new world based on the culture of heart. We need to rid ourselves of fallen traits and realize the original culture, bringing to fruition the nation and world of goodness and love long sought by humanity. This begins at the center of the world, the home, where each woman embraces her husband as the embodiment of true love and raises their sons and daughters with the heart of a true parent. Based upon God's providence, my husband and I have called women to take the lead in the creation of families that embody God's original plan. Families in which the wife lives for the husband for his wife, the parents for their children, and children for their parents. Such a family will overflow with love, and God's blessings will come to stay. Women need to walk the path of a true mother and, at the same time, the path of a true wife and the path of a true daughter. Women have the magical power to create harmony and to soften hearts. Brides build bridges. The world of the future can be a world of reconciliation and peace, but only if it is based on the maternal love and affection of women. This is the true power of womanhood. The time has come for the power of true womanhood to save the world.
Thank you for listening to Godable. Visit motherofpeacebook.com to purchase the complete audiobook. Godable is
Thank you, God, and your parents, for these amazing words. Goodness, I'm just like highlighting all over the place. The blessing is just incredible. I mean, the blessing is proof that God exists, God is alive. The miracles and all these things is showcased so beautifully in the blessing and the matching, to be more specific as well, going beyond not just race, religion, and even social class, but even human, even disabilities, that people can be blessed beyond disabilities. just, it's amazing. You know, when I received the matching, Sayaka's matching application, you know, believe it or not, there was some red ink at the bottom saying that, you know, Sayaka she's deaf in her right ear. And because of that, I had some kind of choice to accept this matching or not because of that. And I was just like, what, that's it? I mean, she's deaf in her right ear. That's not a big deal. Like, frankly, I was kind of surprised that they would even suggest that she, you know, that I could reject a matching for that reason. But anyway, it's not easy, you know, as everyone goes into the matching really completely open, you know, completely transparent. This is me, all my strengths and my weaknesses all out there. So it's quite an amazing process to remove fallen nature, et cetera, et cetera. But to bring joy to God and hope that the world can come together in peace. Also, women's role is absolutely essential. And this has been kind of overlooked all these thousands of years. And so now Mother's showing us how powerful and important women are. And I'm just going to start with these women, these Japanese women who married men from Korea in these rural areas and didn't really know how to care for them, you know, by modern standards, perhaps. You know, Mother gathered a lot of them and asked them if any one of them had they received a birthday gift from their husband. And it seems like many have not. In fact, I think she also asked whose birthday was it today. She had those women come up to the stage and she gave them gifts. And Mother says here, I treasure these women all the more because they endured and sacrificed themselves as representatives of their nation. Now, someone outside our movement might look at this and think they're crazy. Absolutely nuts. There's one lady, she worked for the State Department, and now she's blessed this person who has epilepsies. You know, it seems unthinkable, but that's the kind of dedication that your parents have to really offer your marriage, not for yourself. And you offer for God, God will bless you tremendously. And it seems like his health improved and they had 5 children. And wow, I mean, that's such an amazing gift. Happiness does not come to us when we have everything. It comes mysteriously when we have seemingly lost everything, yet still feel gratitude. You know, sometimes when I mean, this is a very, very small, funny example, but sometimes when I hurt myself, like stub my toe or bang my knee or something, or even yesterday, we were carrying these stuff from the restaurant, and my car had this giant thing of collard greens from Sylvia's. Somehow, it was so full of the broth, it spilled over into my car, and it was like there was a pool of collard green broth in the back of my van, and like kind of just seeped into the holes of the van. And there's a pool in there of this smell of collard greens. I'm in my van just trying to find something to soak it up with and wring it out, and but I just laugh because, like, what a memory, you know. Just offering this van to God is the greatest gift of all. And so I was just, you know, in those moments where seemingly I just lost my car, you know, I don't know how I'll be able to restore the smell of my car. I feel gratitude. I'm so grateful that I have this chance to serve God like this in any kind of way, frankly. So That's where happiness comes from. Not when you get the newest toy or the best house. I mean, that stuff is really stupid, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, it's nice. I mean, but if you center your life on those things, yeah, you're gonna be filled with anxiety and stress and meaninglessness. So, not you. The blessed marriage tradition places true love above considerations of appearance and social status. A person who develops true character and a warm heart will make a good spouse. And so there it is, beyond appearance, beyond social status. And this is my, the thing I love about church the most is when you bring these people who would never meet in normal life together. Even one time there was, two brothers, one's almost a billionaire, the other one's homeless. And they're having a normal conversation at church. That was like, that brings me joy. Just love seeing that because it shows that the love of God is beyond all of those things. The foundation for this is in the vows that blessed couples make during the blessing ceremony, that the husband and the wife will share true love and live in accordance with God's will. So I remember when I was doing the blessings in Times Square, laundromats, parking lots. I mean, this was what I loved most was reading the vows, because there's plenty of education just in the vows alone. Talking about, of course, having loyalty to your spouse, of course, fidelity rather, and then you have, raising your children in purity, offering yourself to God beyond culture and nationality, ethnicity, to build an ideal world. All these vows, to make that pledge can only bring so much hope to God. At the same time, we also need to be able to follow up with these couples and create an environment where they can keep those vows. So this is our task, and it's only going to grow and grow. I'm telling you. And the last thing I want to say, I gave a sermon last Sunday about the matching and blessing, which was, the large part of it. Honoring or recognizing Reverend Josh and his effort in becoming match and blessed. And what's funny was right after the service, two brothers were really eager for the matching and blessing. And even this one guest who was the second time at church, and he's all of a sudden really wanting the matching and blessing. And he's a pretty well-to-do person. He's it's not like he's desperate. I mean, but he was not. I'm sure, like many people who've lost trust in the dating scene. Even yesterday I was at the event, National Night Out, and I was at one of the tables just introducing myself and mentioning. It's funny. I always begin my introduction of our church with, "Oh, have you heard of River Moon? Mass weddings and people. Oh yeah. When they hear mass wedding, they think, oh yeah, I think they I think they know, remember us now." And it's funny. I was mentioning how this is one of our main tasks, to help people find their significant other, their eternal spouse. And people laugh, but it's like they know it's true. They know it's not easy to find that person, and you need a safe and holy environment for that to happen. And one guy was telling him, yeah, he goes to the bar. And I'm like, you need a lot of prayer before you go into that bar to find your spouse. That's what I'm saying. But we live in a world where the matching and blessing is becoming more and more obvious. This is the best path. A vision of true womanhood, a society in which womanhood does not complete and perfect manhood, cannot give rise to a peaceful and just world. Without Ayako-san, we don't even see Uncle Yorg on this call. Of course I'm joking, but like, you have, again, a society that has not really understood, has not understood at all what true womanhood is. And so how can we expect peace in this world when women, don't have an example and haven't been able to rise up in power? Yeah, of course you have some, some outliers here and there, great women. I should say there was many great women in history, but they're not acknowledged or understood because their role wasn't clear. So Mother's making it very clear that women are independent beings. They're not just fixed to their husband. They each represent God's feminine aspect and thus make men whole. And so yeah, it's time for women to rise above the popular trend of trying to improve their status by imitating men. It's just weird. Women and men, there's no competition. They're just so different. Our roles and our strengths, weaknesses are just complementary. And we do things differently. What was it? One night, Emeka was crying like crazy. Usually mama is the one she wants. But this one night was like, she kept crying, and I was like getting frustrated. And I was like, Mama, like, what's going on? Like, why is she still crying? Because mama decided not to breastfeed her all the time. That was kind of like, she became like a human pacifier, and she didn't want to do that anymore. But I think also because of that, mama was not so skilled at making her stop crying. Fortunately, I was very skilled at this because Emeka, I don't have any breasts to feed her, so I've always had to innovate in how to stop her from crying. So I just, I had the strength to just take Emeka, and she stopped crying instantly. So I took her upstairs, walked around. So it's not like we're competing. It's just we have complementary skill sets that can get the job done. But we can do it two different ways, and they're both good. They're both good ways. There's not a competition. It's just trying different things out. For what? For the children's sake. To help the children really grow and be well balanced in life. That's the point. That's the whole point of men and women being different, and it's all for the children's sake. Women are not just men's assistants any more than men are women's assistants. That's true. I'm not Psychia's assistant either. We serve the higher purpose, raising children, leading a community, of our own. That's the point. Such a family will overflow with love, and God's blessing will come to stay. So this is talking about the four realms of heart, right? This is the families that are well balanced in their love for each other, and the parents, children, relationships all set up. The abundance of joy is just waiting to happen. And yes, the time has come where the power of true womanhood to save the world. Yep, that's happening right now as we speak, as Mother leads the world. I say Mother is a genius. She is like a governess of the entire world, and many women, telling you, like many of you here, you're fit to rule. I'm just saying, like, why? Because of your sensitivity of heart and your compassion for people. Technology and AI. I mean, look, we don't need a bunch of like improvement and making our lives more comfortable. It's plenty comfortable. What we need now is love. We need compassion. We need to build bridges. That's what we need right now. So women are just better fit for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Milhan. Okay, everybody, let's take a few moments to share our reflections. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good sharing. Michelle, would you like to share with us?
Thank you. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Yeah, you know, the blessing is a big subject, the most important subject for all of us. You know, there's so many situations that have been occurring in this process. And it's because it's a life decision, it's a life, it's just, you know, the future of humanity, the blessing. So you know, I am very moved by the maturity of that sisters, Japanese sisters that encounter such a drastic situation that her husband was in such a difficult situation, but the way she handled it was amazing, very mature, in a very mature and a wise way. She went to pray. She made a condition, a serious condition. She really had a showdown with God, and God answered and said to her, just as I love you, I love your husband, my son. But you know, that's a lot to learn from this situation. I never make a quick decision or horizontal, you know, humanistic and decision. But I'm really impressed by this sister, how she was such a wise person and made such a big effort, even if she was so determined to just move on, but she put God first at the most important and most difficult time of her life. But that's what I take away today. Always put God first in the most difficult situation. Don't get taken by your emotions and your way of thinking, you know. So thank you. That's what my takeaway today.
Thank you, Michelle.
And
Thank
God centered. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, brothers and sisters, before we begin our unison prayer, do we have any prayer requests today?
I sort of hesitate to mention, but I lost my job in January and 7 months have passed. I do not have a job. I've applied at 54 places and have not received anything. In the meantime, I have started a business selling my fine art photography, and that is making a little bit of money. But now the unemployment's run out and things are getting crucial. So I humbly asked for help from heaven.
We will definitely pray for you, John. Don't hesitate to ask. That's what we're here for. You know.
Exactly.
I'm so sorry. We're going to pray for you to get a job.
Thank you.
Also, I'd like to remind everybody to please keep in mind we're in the condition for the 11th year anniversary of our True Father Son Law. We're praying for that and for witnessing, offering devotions daily. And I'd like to pray for this coming Saturday, this special day. We're having the commitment ceremony for Joshua and Akio. We pray for that to be successful and many people come. Any other prayer requests? Okay, then. Let's begin our 7 minutes unison prayer. Shija. Most beloved Heavenly Parent.
Good morning, Heavenly Parent. Good morning, true
Good
parents.
evening.
Heavenly
Thank you
Parents
so
and
much
true
for
parents. We pray for our
this
true
opportunity
who
to
was intended to
bring
be
to
cared
you
for.
our
And we pray for the
prayers and to
11th
offer our prayers for John Watson,
anniversary of the
especially,
Songwa coming up
who is
August 24th.
faithfully
Pray for the father.
applying for jobs
witness
54 times now,
Please be with her.
and who has some small income on the side, but not really to sustain himself
Heavenly Parent,
Yeah.
any further.
mother, a long life.
Hear our report with regard to that,
Heavenly Parent,
and allow the
pray for our
angels
brothers
to
and
help
sisters.
secure a job that's
that
most fitting for his purposes and for his family and for everybody involved surrounding him. And also, Father, for
building bridges and
the 11th anniversary of Father Songwa, our 20-day period of offering our
this time, the direct relationship with you. Our true Father, lend this world strength to
one that brings new life, yes. Blessing being the most important thing, and not just any job, but one that brings new life. So pray for that. Pray for Elika Seller's healing of her arm, Father. And also for the trust commitment ceremony on Saturday. His wife and the families involved, the Gudetowski family and his wife's family. The parent that they know that it's not just two people, it's two tribes marrying each other. Big Father, that we have been living with satanic tribes, but now it's the time for heavenly tribes to come together. But the parent that's involving our relatives and friends, other people in our sphere of influence, Father. That's the reason I pray, especially also Kathleen, her tribe, her ancestors, can help her find a spouse, Father, that she will be able to live for, that the spouse will be of the same inspiration to live for her, all focused and centered upon you, Heavenly Parent, because without you, these mountains and these valleys cannot be transgressed, Father. Pray for all the sisters here who are without spouses, especially Miko-san and Gal, and also Roswitha, various other sisters who are without a spouse. Very difficult. They do not lose hope and have the knowledge, Father, their physical lives will supply their spouses. If it's a reverse situation, if there's a spouse on earth, like Reverend Corley, his wife in the spirit world, and his physical vitality element allows, Father, for the spouse to grow and to have food, medicine, heal. Heavenly Parent, I pray, please allow each one of my siblings here, Father, to have that mindset. I pray that for Felicia's heart, especially also, that she keeps going. She keeps alive. Up. But she keeps going, Father. And the same thing for Gongshim Maya, Father. I pray for also that
anyone can understand
Yumiko-san is blessed. Is a widow, exactly. When the parents really want to thank you, Father, for these siblings, Father, that keep going. They really need to stay on earth for the longest possible time so that spouses in the spirit world, like true mother, the father can have physical vitality element, continue to do the work he needs to do in the spirit world, Father. Without that physical vitality element, the spirits in the spirit world cannot do anything. They have to wait for the next generation or the following generation to receive receive vitality element now, Father. Pray, Heavenly Parent, that you can understand us more clearly. That's the reason why also you cannot really enjoy life without us here on earth. There are subsequent generations, Heavenly Father. That's you have created this physical world for that purpose. You have given us this incredible value and responsibility why we're here on this earth, Father. We can establish that old tradition that's been never actually accomplished. Adam and Eve never had any children who were able to connect with them in the spirit world. But now it's true for true parents have children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren who are the source of their vitality. Pray, Father, that we can understand this principal point very, very clearly. Some of the things, Father, that are necessary, our spouses, our relatives, our friends, our ancestors to receive vitality elements, grow, change, repent, come to life, for the rebirth, Father, for the Greens, for the Gomez's, the Stevens, the Margaret's, the Wassons, the Shilaji's wife and his two daughters, the Hellers, the Tapia, to really support
The joy
Thomas Coyle, Father, Thomas Lutz in this group, Father, for Edna and Jude and Lena, Father, the Johansson family, Father, influential and important for people everywhere in the world, Father. Pray for Mayo, from your son, especially.
Thank you, everyone, for your prayers. Do we have any announcements before we go?
I'd just like to point out that we have a sister, our dear sister. No, she says no. She joined us all the way from Norway. Roswitha.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Aunt Roswitha, aka Yana's mother-in-law.
I'm sorry.
Wow, this is like morning devotion was when people coming from all over the world. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have been in New Jersey since Dr. Young left, but now I have problems with New Jersey, technical problems. So I asked Sebastian for the link. Thank you so much.
Oh, nice to see you. I used to see you on morning devotion. Sometimes you would share.
Of course.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Good to see you.
Welcome. I love it.
Yeah, I'm glad you came on. Glad you came on. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye.
God bless
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice